What's up YouTube, AwesomeYugioh here, and today we're here with a deck profile on DracoPals, as promised in my previous video. I actually like this deck quite a bit. The combos you can do with it, the boards you can make. The only problem I have with this is that your opponent can be playing this deck as well, and in a mirror match you have to throw a weighted dice to have any sort of real chance, because it's just 50-50 to win them a game. Game 1, the guy who's going first is going to win if they open just not really bad. If they don't open real bad, they're going to win, even if you open the absolute nuts. And the skill level is like on par a little bit. You might be even better, but when you're going second, it's just an uphill battle. And that's something I really dislike, because I never consistently win a dice roll. It's not like 50-50 in my case. It's like I might win 25 on a good day, 25%. You know, so I really dislike that about this deck, because you really want to go first. But other than that, it's a cool deck. I don't like Pendulum or the Pendulum mechanic. Better said, I do like Pendulum decks, but I don't like the Pendulum mechanic because it's just it's not balanced enough right now. But this deck has some really cool plays. You can make some cool boards, you can make some cool monsters as well. So it has that going for it, and it might be the best deck even right now. I don't really think so, because it's been put on the map too much, where people know what can beat it or how to beat it. So right now I feel like Burning Abyss with the Phantom Knights is probably the best deck, but it's whatever. It's the area we're playing, I guess. You know, how well prepared people came for this deck, or how well prepared they came for Burning Abyss, which would actually be which deck is actually going to be better. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get in the profile. Kind of standard in my opinion, because it's just a really solid deck. And a lot of cards have been hit, so you can really play all you want. But of course you start with the triple Pendulum Sorcerer for the Performapals. Then you have the Monkey Board, Skull Crobat, which both are at 1 of course. The double Lizard Draw, along with the 1 Guitardle for your Pot of Greed play. These are unfair cards. This is a pretty unfair card, Pendulum Sorcerer. I mean, this is dumb as well. And then we play the 1 Silver Claw, which is really balanced. This card is actually kind of bad, but you do kind of need it as well in a mirror match if your opponent might go for like an Evil Swarm Nightmare played. This is just a normal summon that can help some problematic cards. And it's dark, which can help if you want to utilize Evil Swarm Nightmare or Kibito, for example, which I don't do. But running him with like Vectors or Dark as well, you know, you could use those cards in your extra deck. So that's it for the Performapal cards. Then for the Draco Slayers, we have the 1 Luster, of course, which is as 1 as well. I use triple Vector along with triple Master. I absolutely love these cards, and I would play Rescue Rabbit anytime. And when I started building this deck, I did play Rescue Rabbit because it's a great first turn card. But after the first turn, it's going to be dead. And on the first turn, it's going to out any problem you might have. But like I said, you would want to go first anyway, and then you don't really need it. The Rescue Rabbit's better when you're going second. But then again, Rescue Rabbit is at 1 as well, and yeah, like I said, Rescue Rabbit can be that. Other cards you're playing like Face Off and Painful Decision can be that after you've resolved a Rescue Rabbit, so it's not really worth it in my opinion. But still, these vanillas, these are absolutely great, and I would not cut any of these. I would always max out on them. Then another card I would always max out on is Ariadne. I think that's how you say that, Ariadne. Yeah, I think it's Ariadne. Counter Fairy card. This card is just nutty as well. This searches out your counter traps. So what you want to do preferably is not open any traps. You know, just have 5 playable cards in your hand, which you can use to establish boards. Preferably one of them being like this, and then search your counter traps with Ariadne. And this just has so much synergy. Excuse me. With this entire deck, with Master and with Luster, definitely with Luster. It's a fantastic card. I would definitely max out on these. I've seen people playing 1 or 2, and people have been playing 3 as well. 3 is definitely the best one in my opinion. And then to round up the Pendulum monsters, which are all the monsters in this deck. I don't think I run anything that isn't a Pendulum. Pendulum, 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 Pendulum. Yep. Everything in this deck, monster-wise, are Pendulums. 2 Archfiend Eccentric. I'm sorry, I have a bit of trouble with my throat here. Double Archfiend Eccentric, which once again can out some stuff. When you clear your first turn, this is definitely a good card to search off your Paladin. This guy. To out some cards your opponent might throw down, for example, against the Monarch main, Monarch matchup, the domain, for example. This just clears problematic cards, and it's high skill as well. You don't have too many high skills, so this definitely helps in that regard as well. So that's the monsters. Then for the full spells, because Pendulums are half spells as well. Triple Upstart for your consistency. Triple Draco Face Off, because this card is dumb. Triple Wavering Eyes, because this card is dumb. There aren't a lot of balanced card in this deck, honestly. Which makes it so I'm pretty sure, even though this deck got hit real hard, I'm pretty sure this deck will be hit more, like Wavering Eyes or Draco Face Off, or this guy, or even something in the extra deck like Ignister. I feel like this deck has to be hit a bit more, or is going to be hit a bit more. Because, like I said, a lot of these cards just are unbalanced on their own. Double Painful Decision. I like Painful Decision with the I feel like these are good cards to open with, open combo plays up. A Painful Decision and a Draco Face Off in your opening hand, and you can make some dumb boards. Double MST for the mirror match, way better than Twin Twister, because like I said, with the 5 cards in hand when you're opening, or even 6 when you're going second, all of those cards should be combo pieces, minus MST or some traps you might draw. But all the other cards in this deck are combo pieces, which means you never want to discard something. So MST heavily outclasses Twin Twister in this deck, in my opinion. And then the Soul Charge, because it's just a bit better when you're going first and your opponent decides to Raigeki or Dark Hole you to come back. So that's it for the spells. Then we have some traps, which will be 5 counter traps to utilize your Ariadnas to the most of their extent. Theoretically, you can use, you can resolve 3 Ariadnes with 5 counter traps if you don't draw into any of them. So for your first Ariadne, you'd go 3. You will always show triple Solemn Strike if you still have triple in your deck on your first Ariadne. What I've seen people been doing is this. Even when they have a Solemn Strike in deck, letting your opponent know you don't have Solemn Warning in your hand, and no one is going to give you the warning. You're always going to get this. Always. So what you should be doing is just revealing Triple Strike. Now your opponent might think, why isn't he showing me the warning? He might have it in his hand, and you're getting a strike, which isn't any different from when you would do this, because you would still get the strike, because no one is going to give you the warning. That's just a small thing. I've seen people do that, and it's really, really bad. And a Chaos Trapple, which is really good against a lot of decks right now. Solemn Scolding is better, I feel like, but it's a bit dangerous as well, Scolding, because if you have multiple traps in your opening hand, you're already in a disadvantage. Now you can either only set the Scalding and keep the other one in hand, which is just terrible, or you have to set, like, let's say you have Strike and Scalding, you have to set Strike and Scalding, but now you're forced to use the Scalding first before you, or the Strike first before you can use the Scalding. So I think this is just a bit easier in usage. And mostly it's doing the same thing Scalding would be doing for you. So that's the main deck for the cards, of course. Really solid main deck in my opinion. Then for the extra deck, triple Ignister, you need to have 3 of these. Especially against Cosmo, you're not going to get away with 2. Right now, when making the rank 8s, you're just going to go into Ignister a lot more just to make your rank 8s. So you need 3. Double Dinosaur, you don't need 3 of these, 2 is good. Double Paladin, if you're playing 1, you're doing it wrong. I'm using Felgrand along with number 38 This one is superior. This is better in some instances. Usually it would go with only one of these. But in Europe we don't have the Utopia Lightning. So that's 2 cards I don't run in the extra deck, which American players would probably run. So I have a bit more room, and I could splash into Falcon as well. 1 Castell, Giant Hand, Diamond Dyer, the Guster Emerald, which is not really useful. You don't make these, but once again, I can splash more cards in here because I can't play all the cards that the US can play. Rafflesia. Now, as you have seen, in the main deck we don't have any trap hole. Well, we have this, but you can't use that. I am siding a bottomless trap hole because I feel like making this first turn against certain matchups, for example Monarchs, is a really good play. Or it's a really strong opening play against some of the more rogue matchups. That's why I do use this in the extra deck. So in game 2 and 3 I can side in the bottomless and utilize Rafflesia. And then of course Dweller, because Dweller is still a good card, especially against Burning Abyss. For the side deck, which is kind of random, I'm still not sure what's best to side, but Triple NC for Burning Abyss, and Ghost Ogre for the Mirror. I saw these cards and I read them, and they seemed kind of good to me in the mirror match, especially going second. You can just put down like a master and, you know, spin an entire board, which seemed good to me. I'm not sure if this is actually good in real life. Normally you would go with like Raigeki Dark Hole, which kind of do the same thing, but on paper I kind of like this one. So yeah, use these two, or this is Force of the True Dracos. But just going with Raigeki Dark Hole will probably do the same thing. The third MST, the Bottomless, as I said, and then we have triple Mask of Strength and triple Appearing Rider Wall. Now for the extra deck you could go with Key Beetle as well, Key Beetle to protect these floodgates, or go with, like I said, Evil Swarm Nightmare, because Evil Swarm Nightmare is a good card in a mirror match, but a lot of people do use like multiple of the Silver Fang, which can out it pretty easily, so I didn't really like to go with those in the extra deck. But honestly, in the extra deck, you only really use these cards. That's really all you need in the extra deck. Number 38, the double Paladin, double Dinosaur, and the triple Ignister. Everything else is just extra, so you know, you can work with that how you'd like. But like I said, especially the main deck, in my opinion, is just as solid as it's going to be. And yeah, I like it. I like putting down big boards. It's not a difficult deck to play. You do have to, because it's not really, you do combo, you know, you make those combos to get those fields, but they're pretty much the same. You have to go through the same movements, which doesn't make it too difficult. So you just have to remember the plays you can do. But yeah, that's fine as well. You have to have those decks in Yu-Gi-Oh as well. So yeah, for now, thank you guys for watching. I'll be doing Cosmo as well, sometime soon-ish, and be on the lookout for that. Once again, thank you guys for the continued support. Also on the last video, the guys saying in the comment section, welcome back, and you know, that kind of stuff. I do really appreciate it. But yeah, I'm gonna get about, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!